USA Storm Center is tracking a dramatic clash between winter and summer across the country this weekend, as powerful storm systems, dangerous heat, and late-season snow all compete for attention from coast to coast. Out west, an intense heat ridge is firmly in control, pushing temperatures to dangerous levels across the desert southwest. Phoenix is currently sitting around 106 degrees, while Yuma and El Centro are approaching 110 degrees. Extreme heat warnings remain in effect through Sunday across much of the region. Southern Nevada and parts of California are also under heat advisories, with widespread highs in the 90s expected to continue through the weekend. These are not just uncomfortable temperatures, they are potentially life-threatening, especially for anyone working or spending extended time outdoors. The heat has been building for several days now, and the cumulative effects on the body can be severe. USA Storm Center urges residents across the Southwest to media, person drinking water bottle in hot weather, news anchor emphasizing hydration tips, stay hydrated, limit outdoor exposure during peak afternoon hours, and check on elderly neighbors and family members. Alongside the dangerous heat, critical fire weather conditions are developing across the region. Red flag warnings and fire weather watches are posted across parts of the West due to extremely dry air and gusty winds. Southern and eastern Wyoming are under critical fire danger alerts, with wind gusts in the 40-mile-per-hour range making any spark a serious threat. In Montana, conditions are even more severe, with gusts potentially reaching 60 to 80 miles per hour in some locations across the state and into the Rockies. Wind gusts of that magnitude can spread fires rapidly and make firefighting efforts extremely difficult. Drought is a major factor amplifying all of these risks. Dry conditions are affecting roughly 75 to 80% of the country at this time. Severe drought is present across portions of the Southeast, the Southern Plains, the Rockies, and the Northern Plains. This widespread dryness is not only feeding the fire risk out west, it is also limiting how much relief any incoming rainfall can provide to parched soils and stressed vegetation. Now shifting to the other side of the country, where an active and complicated weather pattern is bringing a very different set of hazards. A trough in the eastern United States is allowing cooler air and storm systems to dive southward, setting the stage for rain, snow, and severe thunderstorms across multiple regions. In the Northeast, a winter weather advisory is currently in effect for northern New York and Vermont. Lower elevations are expecting 2 to 4 inches of snow, while higher terrain could pick up 4 to 6 inches before the system moves through. This is a reminder that despite the calendar, winter is not finished with the northern tier of the country just yet. A more significant storm system is now developing and will become the dominant weather story heading into Sunday and the early part of next week. This system will bring heavy snow to portions of the Northeast, with the highest totals expected across northern New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and into central Maine. Snowfall accumulations in those areas could range from 6 to 12 inches depending on the exact track the system takes. USA Storm Center will continue to monitor this storm closely as it organizes. At the same time, this developing system will also fuel a severe weather threat across the Ohio Valley and Mid-Atlantic region. By Sunday, thunderstorms are expected to fire across parts of Indiana, Ohio, and Kentucky, with conditions favorable for some of those storms to become severe. There is growing concern that these storms could organize into a line, which would significantly increase the risk of widespread damaging winds. Residents across the Ohio Valley should have a plan in place and stay weather aware throughout the day Sunday. Further north and into the Great Lakes region, rain and occasional thunderstorms will be possible as the system pushes through. A low-pressure system is currently tracking along the northern border of the country, bringing mixed precipitation to parts of the upper Midwest and Great Lakes states. The Pacific Northwest is also seeing active weather right now, with rain ongoing and mountain snow continuing at higher elevations. Temperature anomalies across the country tell the full story of just how unusual this pattern is. Much of the country is running 3 to 10 degrees above normal, particularly across the Ohio Valley, the Southeast, and the Southwest. The only areas sitting below average are parts of the northern Midwest and the Pacific Northwest, which continue to see cooler and unsettled conditions. Warm temperatures are extending well beyond the Southwest. Readings in the 80s are reaching as far north as South Dakota, and 90s are common across the plains and much of the south. The eastern United States remains mild overall, though cooler air persists near the Great Lakes and in northern New England where the storm systems are having their greatest influence. Looking ahead to early next week, this general pattern is expected to hold with some gradual adjustments. The southwest will remain hot, with temperatures still close to 100 degrees by Monday across many locations. Across the plains, a slight cooling trend is expected as the storm system to the north pulls some drier and slightly cooler air southward. However, no significant relief is in sight for the drought-stricken regions of the west and southern plains. The Great Lakes and Northeast will see another round of unsettled weather as the developing storm system fully organizes. Rain, snow, and strong winds will all be factors across the region. By midweek, another push of cooler air is expected to sweep into the Great Lakes and Northeast, reinforcing the colder pattern that has kept winter hanging on across the northern states. Wind will continue to be a significant hazard in multiple parts of the country. In addition to the extreme gusts already occurring in Montana and the Rockies, breezy conditions will be widespread across the central and eastern United States as the storm system moves through. While the most dangerous gusts will remain confined to the mountains and high plains, wind damage will be possible across a much broader area during the Sunday severe weather event. Rainfall over the next several days will unfortunately do little to meaningfully address the drought conditions affecting so much of the nation. Most areas will receive light to moderate amounts of rain, which can help temporarily, but will not come close to erasing deficits that have been building for months. The areas most in need of significant rainfall, the southern plains, the Rockies, and parts of the southeast, are not expected to receive the kind of prolonged, widespread precipitation that would make a real dent in drought conditions. Turning briefly to space and earth science, minor geomagnetic storm conditions are expected in the coming days. This increases the potential for aurora activity to be visible across northern portions of the United States, particularly in states like Montana, North Dakota, Minnesota, and Michigan. If you are in one of those areas and skies clear up overnight, it may be worth stepping outside for a look to the north. A magnitude 6.6 earthquake struck near the southern Shetland Islands, close to Antarctica. While significant in size, the quake occurred in a remote area and is not expected to have any broader impact. Additionally, several volcanoes in Alaska remain under advisory or watch status, though none currently pose any threat to the lower 48 states. Long-range models are hinting at a potential pattern shift later in the extended forecast period. There are some signals suggesting the heat ridge in the west could eventually break down, allowing cooler conditions to spread eastward more broadly. However, confidence in that outcome remains low at this range, and the dominant story for the next several days will continue to be dangerous heat out west and active storm systems in the central and eastern United States. USA Storm Center will keep you updated as all of these systems evolve. Stay safe, stay informed, and check back for the latest conditions across